Welcome back, graduates. Today I'm going to kind of do a quick run through of a few Shopify stores, and there is a subreddit called Review My Shopify, and basically has a lot of people just asking, hey, review my store and just do a quick audit. Let me know how what I can do to improve and increase conversions. So I'm just going to run through some quick videos of some store audits for you, and we do have permission because if they didn't want their store to be seen, they wouldn't have posted it on a huge subreddit like review my Shopify store. So let's see. Review my store, and honestly, some people have the links like this. So I'm just going to go in, and I did comment, as you can see. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go and open this up. And right now we automatically know that they are on Dawn. And if you ever, here's a really cool trick, guys, if you ever want to know what kind of version or what the actual or original theme is that they are using, you can just go into view page source. Once you go into here, you're going to type in, you're going to do find and type in theme. And once you get to theme, you'll know that they are using Dawn theme. And if you enter and look for some actual code right here, theme name is using Dawn, and they're using the latest version of Dawn. So when someone says, hey, I'm using this or Turbo, you'll actually be able to identify what the theme was, the original theme base was. So they're using Dawn, and it's 8. So you can close out of this. So with Dawn 8, they have a slide out cart, but they are not enabling the slide out cart. So right over here, they have the announcement bar. I do think that they should, anywhere that it is visible and it looks like it should be clickable, it definitely should be clicked to all products or a specific collection if they're promoting that. I do feel like the navigation, there's a lot of white spacing top and bottom here, and they can kind of decrease this a little bit so it's a little more narrow because it does look a little wonky here. So usually what's sometimes, not always, best practice is having a homepage banner. What they decide to do is just have a featured products. They do have they do have a very long titles here. I do think that some people can, test this out to truncate the product titles and make it all in one line so it looks nice and even, or to show the whole product title, which is long. So they do have the hover over images, as you can see from the first one. I would recommend having a second of a different image so it just all looks uniformed. Scrolling down, then they have the view all, which is a great button to have, a good call to action. And then their customer care, I definitely recommend more images or explainer video, or even just a rich text for the about us. Always remove powered by Shopify down here. So when I click onto feature products, their product page is lacking in a lot of ways. The heading, the product title is very big and just takes too much. I see t-shirt so many times. You don't need that. You can condense your product title a bit more, because in the back end, Shopify at the very bottom of your products has a section where you can add in the whole title for SEO purposes here. So you don't need this huge long title. For Etsy, that would be probably really good, but we're not on Etsy right now. Right over here, they do have their vendor listed here, so I wouldn't add their vendor. Printables, oh, that is theirs. So it's them, their printables. Okay, so they can keep that if they would like. The pricing is down here. Then also I would definitely recommend color swatches. And even if they want to do variant color swatches, which would show the image instead of just solid black, navy, or aqua. Then the size, that looks fine. Scrolling down, they have a lot of images here. So the product the product description actually looks okay, and then they have a size guide here, which is very long actually. So one thing to consider is maybe having a size guide pop up. So over here, size guide, and it pops up. So it just removes the last space. And then customer reviews, and then you may also like, which is a pretty generic section. So let's go into here, and let's refresh this again. Okay, so you have a stacked grid of feature products, which looks fine, and then you have a view all. So I definitely recommend a banner, something a little more playful. It has playful a vibe to their brand. So I would definitely recommend that. And then also an accordion if they're going to have more menus, which should be shop, t-shirts, bestsellers, things like that. Also, they have cats, yoga, and gym. So I would display that on the homepage and kind of categorize that as much as I can. And then also, again, when adding to cart, a slide out cart instead of the pop up here, as we have seen working with a number of clients that slide out does convert better. All right, so moving forward to the next one, we're just gonna go reviews Shopify, and we're gonna just keep on scrolling down. So let's review this one. So let's click on this. Let's move this down here. So right now we are on Dawn again. A lot of people, when they first start out, use Dawn, and that is okay. Dawn is a great theme for starting out. Once you get your brand, and more awareness and just a full-fledged brand, then you definitely want to consider even a custom theme, things like that. So right over here we have a really nice bright neon logo, which I think they did a great job on this. This looks like a really cool site to use as a dark theme, honestly. I would definitely test that out. They have a dark menu here, about us, contact. So they have shop exotic snacks. So it's Doritos, really cool Doritos, food, things like that. Good call to action here. The logo looks good. I would replace this logo with maybe a text, a nice playful text, the same text actually they use in their logo right in the center here. Shop all. Things like this, I would do like a nice glow maybe, something that kind of stands out a bit more, playful, bright. Feature products, again, they're just displaying their feature products. They're using the Dawn defaults, not really doing too much of it. I definitely would recommend, again, trying this as a black theme. And then our mission, here is a good place to have the mission, but also I do believe About Us is a great place to have the our mission as well. Going to the collections, they have a pretty standard collections where you can just simply add to cart, which is great, unlike the other theme, unlike the other store, which didn't have a add to cart, simply adding. Here again, they do have the pop-up instead of the slide out. If they are on Dawn 8, they do already have that option to convert to a slide out instead of a cart page. So yeah, so I would try a black theme. Definitely a bit more images here going on. Again, I would make this a smaller font. Pricing, maybe test out with some green, the same, maybe a neon green, and then muted, so a lighter pricing muted. I mean, if a short paragraph would work, but I would maybe expand a bit more on this because you're like really wanting to persuade to your customers and really get into their taste buds and be like, wow, you definitely want these Dorito Flaming Hots. I know I love hot food. Then also, I definitely think for this kind of theme, definitely upsells when a customer orders add to cart, definitely a pop-up that says, hey, why don't you try Max Extra Crunch, and some also liked Doritos. So now they can pick and add from that pop-up and simply add to cart, because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make money. They're trying to make money, and these chips look great. So that's, and then again, the announcement bar is not clickable. So I would definitely make that clickable. And it says free shipping on all orders. Just also make sure when it is free shipping on all orders 30 and more. So I'll add another one. And let's just test this theory, because some people do mistake this and leave this out. So does it say free shipping subtotal? I'm just going to put in fake name here just to see. continue to shipping, and it is free. Okay, so some people do miss this part, but it is free, so that is great because now I capped over 30. I do recommend on the checkout, which other people miss, is adding their logo here as well. And if you do not choose a logo here, you can choose a banner image. You can also choose background color option. So with this, I would do a dark theme, a dark on this side. Moving forward, let's go again. And let's just scroll down to some really good ones here. And let's click on this. So this is also using Dawn theme again. They have their logo in the center. I do feel like they can condense this image a bit more because there's a lot of space here. I would love to see the navigation a bit higher, like right underneath. Again, the click express shipping worldwide is not clickable. Here they have kind of a blurry GIF. I believe this is a GIF and not an MP4. If it was a MP4, it'd be a bit more clear. So they might have converted to a GIF instead. And then it's very interesting why it's so long. I would maybe do this like a 16 ratio by like 4 or something. I like this. This does work. This has proven to work sometimes. The gradient looks really nice and clean. Popped up. Shop now. Installments. Scrolling down. Then I don't see. So it looks like this is their main product, but then you go down here and I feel like it's a disconnect. So I would want this to be a pink just to make sure, because I was just looking, and me as a consumer, it's like, wait, is that the same product? Yeah, it looks like the same product, maybe. Then right over here, their feature products. This needs to be changed. This needs to either be removed or very much condensed into a, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a 10, 5 across. Here, it takes just too much space on the homepage. They did a good start on the banner here, and then here just this messes it up a bit too much, and then all the way down is the add to cart, which you do not want. And then also I guess they did some customization with a border radius scrolling down, and then 100 off April 23rd. This is a very big image. I feel like with Dawn, there are a lot of other banner images that you can play around with that work also with mobile and desktop. Because let's see what this looks like. So mobile looks great. Desktop does not look good at all. There's just too much of a scroll, kind of a little blurry as well. This looks really good. Why choose this brand? So these are points right over here that they could use on their product page to build out. People want to know why it's beneficial or how it's going to solve a problem. 3 easy steps right over here. All this information would be great on the product page itself. So let's see if it's on the product page. I'm just going to view, and this is interesting location. How do I get out of it? It just goes, okay, clicks out of it. And then here, I like the nice clean and drop shadow, nice clean font, and the drop shadow works really well. Again, here is the overwhelming checkout icons. I definitely make this a little smaller. Doesn't need to take up too much space. As of right now, this is more space than the image here, which it should never be. Second, here, this is incredible. So why is this an incredible device? Well, let's go to the benefits. So they replicated the same image down here, and then reviews, and then same here. And then you may also like, so it seems like this is the top selling product. I would definitely actually create this landing page and only target this product. So build this product page out with the benefits down here. 3 easy steps, add this, an FAQ section, which now Dawn has for, it's called collapsible section. So I would add these as like, columns with text with icons. Again, columns, maybe SVG icons here, and then here, questions. So this is definitely all the content they need to build out the landing page. What are the benefits? What are the ingredients if they need? What the product is, and between all those sections, building out on the product page, always have in between a little call to action going up, anchoring to the add to cart, or just adding to cart in itself. And then that's great that they have the social proof, which is great. I think they're using Judge Me if they want to expand and have images. They can definitely have images. I believe that Stamped and Luke's and all those do on a paid plan have option to have images and MP4s as well. And then they have a nice gradient, very clean for their newsletter and conversion. So that's really great. And the footer looks really nice. I do see that the sticky add to cart is a bit small and there's not much spacing between it. And it does not match the design where everything is boxed and squared. So this looks like they're using an app. And then also you'll see that the rest of the buttons are rounded, things like that. So that's something to take into consideration when designing your store as well. So you see the nice drop shadow here, and you see very sharp edges here. Add to cart. So this is definitely, so that was really cool. That was really great. And so that was through the app, and then definitely increased that logo as well. And then green button. So does that reflect here? Very interesting. Yeah, this is something that I would go back and forth, test out, and make sure, like, did I actually save? Did I actually calculate correctly? And what are all these pop-ups? Looks like there's some bugs here. So there's like two buttons for a cart, which looks weird and kind of confusing, but overall pretty good. Definitely, I think just building out the product page and making that the target page to land on instead of this, and fixing that as well. All right, let's do one more. We'll just keep on scrolling down. Let's see. So this person's saying ready for ads. Let's click into here. They're also using Dawn Theme. So we have worked with Dawn Theme for quite a while now, and so we know that Dawn Theme has this exact cart bag and this exact same navigation and layout, and also the font. A lot of people do not change their fonts. They changed their heading font, which looks great. Bounce House for sale. Interesting font. It's a bit too much spacing between the bounce and the house, but now I'm just getting nitpicky. So now they have a announcement bar, which is great because you can click and it goes to finally the product page. The other themes did not. And then again, another one as well. So that's great. The more clicks to go to for your customers to see a product, the better, and the higher chance they're going to convert. So top quality, prime durability. Top quality, prime durability. Interesting. I would choose a different context here, but that's something to test out. So it is a bounce house. I like that they used their products and what they're selling, so I automatically know what they're gonna get. Then they release the best sellers. There's a lot of space between them. And then I would also make it a little bit more uniform. If most of your products are going to have a white background, then have the other ones be a white background. Or if they're going to have like a scenery background, then have a scenery background, because it just looks a bit too empty and more white space. Also have, especially with this kind of product line, human people in the image, because it speaks more, and also they can see how happy they are. It speaks to emotion, and people react to that a bit better. Just like this, a little girl playing. Oh, he's having a lot of fun. So you can buy combos. Here are the collections, so that looks really good. And they're keeping up with their color brand, which is great. Nice blue. Why us? So why choose them? And it explains here. And then they're using Judge Me. Good for their reviews. And then I liked how they kind of separated and segmented out the sections, which is great. Why a bounce house? So why that company, and then why choosing a bounce house? This could be a really good actually about us page, building this on the about us page a bit more to convince your buyers. Perks of being an owner. Okay, so that's really interesting. Have a nice compare and contrast chart. That's always good. Let's go to shop. So this looks really good. Some people like to have text here, some people don't. And this is really interesting. I think they did some custom coding because Dawn does not have this, and this is just simply a add to cart. Okay, so that's what that is. So they're using that same app that that other previous company looks like they're using too. You just add to cart, and it adds whichever one. Very interesting. Does it work though? Seems to work. So let's go into inflatables. All right, so first things first, definitely a better image. Even when you blow it up, it's very blurry. So I definitely recommend, if it's going to be a nice like square 1200 by 1200, because it's always better to have a really big image that scales down still nice and crisp than a small image that scales up and it just becomes really blurry. So they're using a lot of apps here. Or here I definitely recommend to have this more full width edge to edge because it just looks a little weird when both of these blocks are edge to edge. Expand this a little bit more. I never thought I would save. So they have kind of like a testimonial here, but it kind of just really looks out of place. I didn't even know that was going to be here. So I would just style this a bit more, or I would bring it down at the bottom. I think their concept is really nice right here, but definitely just not a plain text. Then blowers, you have the options here, and then dimensions. So this looks really good. The features, how to use it, and shipping. And then the reviews here, get ready to play. This just looks a little empty and out of place here, so I would remove that or put that in a separate place. I would actually make free shipping worldwide another image with text right under here, and have the image on the left and the text on the right, so there's a nice going back and forth as you're scrolling down, because this just looks a little out of place. And then you may also like, I would shrink this down. It should not be a H1 that you may also like. So this looks good. Same again. Let's see. And then they have a sticky add to cart. So notice how the sticky add to cart is an app here, but it is nice and rounded. But are all the things rounded here? Some of the elements are rounded. So that's one thing to keep in mind, is if one thing's square, one thing's rounded, just keep all that uniformed. Hurry. So they have a nice sense of urgency here. That looks really nice. And then I'm just going to add this to cart. Item added to cart. Interesting. So they're using an app for this, because that is not what Dawn's cart looks like. Very interesting. And now something happened, and something to take into consideration. So I see this add to cart. I see this add to cart, but now I don't see the home page. I don't see the navigation. I don't see any part where I can click out of it. Except when I go back into here, then I see the navigation and the logo. So that's a bug in that feature. Also, for these images, I would definitely make sure that they aren't cropped. You can see the full image itself, especially for these bounce houses, unless you're going to have like another image that displays how it looks from every angle, what they're going to get. It's very interesting. But yeah, it's I mean, you can, we feel like you can only do so much on Dawn. So now I'm able to click on the cart, and this is the cart page. So there's two different ways that the cart is being worked on here. I do think that there's a little lack of, styling here, and also consistency. They also lack their logo here as well. If they're gonna do a blue, make that the exact same blue that they have on their store. That's all with that one. I think you guys kind of get the idea that a lot of people are first starting out using Dawn theme. Here's a theme that is not using Dawn theme, and we don't really know what theme it is, but it looks really good. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just go, because I'm curious myself, and I'm just gonna do theme name, and actually the theme name is Impact. So they're on the 3.1, and I believe Impact now is on like 7 version or 8. So they're on a very outdated Impact, so they might not even be on section 2.0. These are things we look for, and something to take into consideration while you're looking at your competitors and see how they're doing, and you can do it better. So closing out, so this it looks like Impact, but I didn't think it looked like Impact. They did a good job on their fonts, kind of like a rounded corner style. I do think that their banner is a bit just a tad bit too long. I have to do like a scroll, 2 scrolls in order to get socks, free kids socks, hot sale. I would make this a little brighter to see, because I can't see the words that well. Okay, they have a marquee. Does that click into something? That does click into something, so that's great. I think the store is actually really nice, and what they did on Impact was really nice, but I do see a couple different disconnects on the styling a bit. This looks really super nice and clean. When you go onto the homepage, you kind of get 2 different vibe of styles going on. Click on here. That looks really nice. I mean, you can't go wrong with a nice clean image here, and then product, pricing, description, what it is. So this is very interesting. They have the description above the swatches here. So what they're doing is these are also individual products that they have as well. So this is an individual product, but when you click on it, it goes to a different product. So these aren't just variants, these are actually different products altogether. As you can see at the very bottom, it goes from navy to brown toddler to white. Interesting. I feel like a lot of stores are doing that now these days. I have to see if it works or if it gets confusing. And actually, the store did really good on this store, really well on this store. Information, size measurements. So they have size measurements, but they also have a size chart here. Nice slide out. It looks really nice and clean. So overall, this does look really nice and clean. Oh, some blurry images with a lot of space up here. That's a lot. So I'd remove that. You have such great crisp images here, and then some blurry ones. This doesn't really match with I'd want to see like a longer. If this is a video this length, then I'd want to see a video or an image that length. Looks very interesting. Cut off white space. Testimonials, I believe this is through an app, and then also their collapsible FAQ section, which always looks great. This is a very long page. Some icons here. Now it's getting a little too spammy for me. It looked branded at first, and then this just increases the height of the whole footer. I would add this into here. Or honestly, I would combine the about if this theme allows it, the logo above the about here and the information here, because this just brings the whole website taller. It doesn't look that nice going down. But yeah, this is just like a little too much. And then you see blurry image after that. Like I would have loved to see a nice crisp image, unless you want the text way up here. But then again, it's a bit too big. By age, little kids, how are the collections? So what they can do also, since it looks like they have a lot of products, their product line. So what they could do is Shopify, they can download the search and discovery app, which is filters. And what they can do is go into each of their individual products and create a tag and also create meta fields. So what this will allow them to do is a little homework on the side, but they'll be able to filter out, customers will be able to filter out specifically by like different cream browns, what types of shoes, things like that, instead of just in stock and price, by the default ones. They have boys. Yeah, I'd love to be able to see if it's for like going out, if it's for church, if it's for playtime, um, or for seasonal, winter, spring, summer, fall. And then also play around. It might work, it might not. Play around with infinite scrolling as well. Less clicks, the better, definitely. So let's again go into here and let's add to cart, see what happens. Okay, so it's down here. Looks okay. Interesting. But if I exit out of here, then it becomes a slide out cart. I think this is very clean. I do think this is an app actually, because it has, does this rotate? Okay, so this does rotate. I just add this, kind of little glitchy. Interesting, a lot of clicks. View cart again. So that's there's a bit of a disconnect there, and it's not very fluid, but they have a nice estimated shipping. So that looks really nice. And then a checkout. So this is by far the last one. Of course, is always by far what I'm showing you is the nicest one. Didn't mean for that to happen, but it looks really nice. Free gift. Did I say free gift? What makes it a free gift? Does it say free kid socks? Get free gifts. Now, what, like for example, what makes it free? Did it state anywhere how it's free? Is it by free shipping? Is it by weight? So this looks really good with the icons here. And they're handmade. I'm just curious how I can get free shipping, because as a customer, you're like, oh, free. Always look at that before anything else. So that's really cool that it was front and center as well. Oh, okay, just add item to it and automatically becomes 0 at checkout. Cute leather shoes must be paired with cute socks. So I wonder if that works. But that is the run through of those like 3 or 4 stores that we did. You can always, look at your competitors, see what they're doing and do it better. You can go on, subreddits, things like that. Just get some information. But I thank you so much. I hope this helped.